Hello, I'm Mark Manners. I'm a ISS here, or an in-shift supervisor here at Lifeline in Perth. And today I'm going to be stepping you through all of the pre-enrolment information for our crisis supporter training that takes place for 2021. So I'll get started because we have a few things to get through today in our session. Lifeline was founded in 1963 by the late Reverend Dr. Sir Alan Walker. We provide a range of services around Australia, one obviously being our crisis support telephone line. Also, we offer web-based chat services as well. And we actually do face-to-face counselling and support for people too. Here in Lifeline Perth, we actually run multiple community programs, including community outreach programs, plus also community education. So we have lots of different programs running. Our core centre, though, is really the foundation and our central pillar to which we operate from. Lifeline is based of full-time staff and also part-time staff, but it's also volunteers. So crisis supporters around Australia are our volunteer place. And we have over 3,500 crisis supporters spread out around Australia. So we're a large organisation. That enables us to run, a 24/7 service, 365 days a year. So we never close as a service. We're always there for people so they can call us. So why do people or contact Lifeline? We call them help seekers here at Lifeline, and it's really for short-term crisis support. And we'll get more into that a little bit as we go along. And of course, in the training, we'll teach you all about that as well. So when you look at our strategic, what are we here for, And really our purpose is to support Australians in times of crisis and help people and communities to be resilient and suicide safe. So we offer a range of services in that space. Our vision is to see an Australia free of suicide. And our foundation is to provide that support, that crisis support that we do 24/7. Right, promote emotional well-being and capability of people and resilience, and build our community capacity. So it's a big vision, and it's a really worthwhile one that we all get behind here as members of the Lifeline family. So what are some of our guiding principles? We are guided by how we best support and serve the community in delivering our Lifeline's purpose. We demonstrate care and respect for other people through how we deal with our colleagues, our help seekers, our clients, and our community. We obviously integrity, honesty, openness, all these issues around our values are very, very important to us. At the same time, driving innovation in our service provision. So we do trials around texting. So we can also reach out and provide support through text services, chat services. So constantly being how we can innovate our service to better support our community. And for us, very, very important is that mutual respect and commitment in all of our behaviours and decisions. And that's a very, very important part for us. We will obviously reinforce Lifeline's reputation. We have a very large recognition in the community and one of the most acknowledged and valued brands in Australia as well. We listen to others without judgment. And later on in your crisis supporter training, this is a really important part for us. And we believe suicide is mostly preventable. So what's the benefits of becoming a crisis supporter? When I became a crisis supporter, which is a long time ago now, it really changed the way I saw things, and it really changed my life for the best. But it's about belonging to this amazing Lifeline community or Lifeline family. And it's a large family, and it's really that sense of purpose and having contact and working with all these amazing people that are here. There's also career opportunities. Our CEO is constantly promoting to our volunteer base jobs that come up at Lifeline to come and join us, to be able to expand your own career and develop those skills as well. Giving back to your community. I think that goes without saying, is that being able to support our community and to give is such a worthy cause. And then especially in these days, and this year especially with COVID and moving through all that uncertainty, to be there for people is an amazing gift to give. And we do make a difference. we listen to people, and that's a wonderful gift to give out to people in this time. People may be lonely, or they're disconnected from family and friends, or they're suffering through mental health. It's all about the difference that we make and that you make as a crisis supporter, being able to listen to them and just really supporting them. It's meeting new people here at the centre. We come from all backgrounds and all ages and all sort of life experiences. So it's quite an amazing. You've got people who are retired. We've got people going through university and starting off. We've got mums coming in during the day in between the school run. So it's a really diverse bunch of people, and it's really nice to have that experience of meeting them all. It's also the ongoing support that we provide. For those of you who may be studying, we give you practical experience as well in dealing with a whole range of services out there. And it's that ongoing personal and professional growth, because we run a lot of professional development as you get further into your training, and as being a full-time accredited crisis supporter, is also we offer lots of professional development and opportunities to expand your skills. So it's lots of opportunities there. And we think it's a great thing becoming a crisis supporter here at Lifeline. So when we're looking for a crisis supporter to join us, we have very clear about what we see as the attributes of that person and what they can bring to the, to bring to our service. Having that empathy, having that respect and care for others, and being open to diversity. We deal with everyone in Australia. And from all walks of life and all groups, and it's just being open to them and being respectful to them in their times of need from us. Lifeline also looks for people who are self-aware, because it is an educational and growth opportunity. So it's being able to understand your experience, being able to take feedback and working within a positive team that we do, and at the same time having boundaries around our service and what we do offer, and just be clear about that, and having those good boundaries where we need to, and also at times when we need to be assertive, all right, and being able to support people, but also being clear about where we work as Lifeline. As I said, we have a big commitment to learning here at the centres, and it's a reflective process that we use. So it's often based on how you see yourself performing. It's open to coaching services. So we also have core coaches here at Lifeline, and being able to take that on board and being able to then work through that and with the team and with the supervisors and the trainers and the core coaches, and also supervision, I should say, being able to continue to grow in your ability to be able to support this. And also, from understanding, so a lot of people come to Lifeline to volunteer here based on your life experience. And that's an important thing. It's not necessary, so at the same time I have to say that, but if it's something that you're learning from it and you want to bring in, again, that is again that understanding of what some of our people go through. I'll let you guys read through that, but obviously it's for a lot of people, for a lot of crisis supporters, it's life-changing being part of this, and how it's helped so many of them, be it, support the community. Okay, we'll move on. So how can you become a Lifeline crisis supporter? Okay, so let's get into the actual training components that are coming up. I'm going to talk about 2 training sessions that are available in early 2021. One is our new fast track service that's coming up in February, and then the other one will be our normal part-time service. So the fast track service that we're pulling together is the first time we've tried it here. So this is basically a full-time course, but take you through some of those key dates. Applications for that fast track close on the 11th of January in 2021, so not long from now. We then do telephone interviews. So you do the initial application, it asks you some questions, you can fill in all that. Then we'll do a telephone interview with you, and we'll start those on the 18th of January. So you need to be here, you need to be near a telephone during that week. Once you've been accepted into the course cost is $750, and that needs to be paid prior to commencing the course. And then the full-time course starts 1st of February and runs through to the 12th of February. So it's Monday to Friday, and it starts at 8:30 a.m. and finishes at 4:30 p.m. So you need to be available for that. This is a one-off for that, and you need to be involved in that. And then each night there's more e-learning. So we do a combination of Zoom, and we do a combination of e-learning, right, for you to do. So really for that week, I'm going to suggest that you clear everything out so you're able to really focus on this, because there's a lot to get through. So each evening you will have to do a couple of hours of e-learning. At the end of that session, so that Monday to Friday, and you finish that, on the 5th of February, moving along quickly, so we'll then do a 4-hour observation shift. So observation shift, 5th of February, you'll all come in, and that enables you to sit with other experienced crisis supporters in their cubicle with them, and they'll actually take the phone calls, and you'll be able to listen in and have a talk to them about what's going on. So it's a great way to learn expose yourself to the service. Then we go into 3 telephone assessments, right? And that commences on the week commencing 15th of February. So this is where you work with the trainers and the assessors, and you'll be going through that. And it's one of the key steps that we have to deliver. And then you have what we used to call our placement shifts on the 1st to 5th of March, which are 4-hour shifts at our centre here in Onslow Road in Shenton Park. And you'll come in and you'll do 4 shifts over, and each one is 4 hours long, and that are your placement shifts. So you'll actually have a mentor sitting with you, and they will guide you and support you as you start to do your phone calls with them. So just to recap all of that, we start, and applications close 11th of Jan, right? We do telephone interviews 18th of Jan, so please be available during those periods of time. If you get through, it's 1st of Feb to 12th of Feb, right? Monday to Friday of that week, 8:30 to 4:30. E-learning that night you need to do. Then in between there, just to get you going, on the 5th, we will do an observation shift, so you can come in here to Shenton Park and see one of the mentors in action, right? Then telephone assessment straight after you finish your course, right? And then in for 4 sessions. So combination of Zoom, e-learning, and practical experience. Don't worry, all the way through this you'll be supported. We have these fantastic mentors that will be there for you. They come from our other crisis supporters, the trainers, and also the supervisors as well. We're all here to support you through that. As an intern, once you've finished all of that, you then do 56 hours over the rest of the year, basically, to become accredited crisis supporter. So that's another 56 hours. Typically, our shifts are 4 hours long. Okay, just so you know, 4 hours long. And the phone room's open, typically from 10 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. at night. So lots of opportunities to come in there and do your shifts. And then there's further mandatory professional development. So we do PD, right? And some of that's delivered face-to-face, some of that is online through Zoom. It's the same as our clinical group supervisions. We're in one of the groups with other crisis supporters, and that's done by a clinical psychologist. And some of those are face-to-face, and also you have choices where you can do those over Zoom. So lots of support for you, but there's also lots of things you need to do over that entire year. So this is a new service, right? And we'll send you a link there so you can apply for it. Should be fantastic. What a great opportunity. Okay. Part-time crisis supporter training. Okay, this is our sort of a normal approach that we do. And applications for that close on the 25th of January. Then commencing in February, we will, on the 8th of Feb, we'll start doing telephone interviews with people, and we'll start sort of picking the teams that will go through. It's $750 as well to do that course. Now, this is a 10-week part-time Zoom course, okay? So it's typically one 3-hour session per week, okay, over 10 weeks, plus the e-learning as well. So we normally run 2 sessions, meaning 2 groups, right? And so you'll have a choice of doing an evening group, or you can do a morning group. So depending on if you're working or if you just, you know, are available during the day. So the Tuesday group is normally 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock at night via Zoom. And the Friday team come in, Zoom in on 9 in the morning to 12 noon, okay? And that runs from the 1st of March through to the 14th of May, okay? Don't forget, there's also e-learning here I have to do each week on that session. Same as the fast track sessions, but you won't have to do it every night, obviously, over the 10 weeks. Same requirements, 3 telephone assessments with our assessors at the end of the training. And don't forget, you know, everyone sort of goes, oh, assessments, we want you on the phones, we need you, we're going to make it, you know, we're going to support you all the way through this, right? So we're going to give you lots of coaching as well. Now they start, and they're typically 1 hour each, and they're going to start in May, in 17th of May, and go through to 4th of June. The reason we give you all these dates now is that, you know, it gives you a chance to look at your calendar and go, am I available in all these dates? You know, so am I available between the 1st of March and the 14th of May every Tuesday, or am I available on Friday, depending on your sessions, right? Because, you know, we need you to be available so we can get through the course and deliver this. Then there's 5 4-hour mentor shifts in the telephone room. As I was saying before, you get the observation, then you have your placement shifts with your mentor, and they're fantastic. Again, lots of support for you there, and really enables you to learn on the job, so to speak. Same thing, another 56 hours after that for the rest of the year to be able to become a junior internship here, and your professional development and clinical supervisions. So just going through that again, if you'd like to do the part-time one, please get your application in by the 25th of January, right? Then we start the telephone interviews. Then the actual course itself starts 1st of March and goes through to 14th of May, and you have a choice, Tuesday sessions or Friday. We generally don't say you can swap in between them each week. It's, if you sign up for Tuesdays, you've got the Tuesdays. You sign up for Fridays, you've got the Fridays, okay? I hope that makes sense. You can always screenshot this, by the way. It's a good thing to do if you want to read it later on. Okay, and we're changing. What happens, so once you've done it basically takes a year, right? And then you do through your internship, then you become an accredited crisis supporter here at Lifeline, right? And that's a big step, and that's a big step in your journey here at the centre. And after that, what we're seeking then is a regular 4-hour shift. You know, our mission is to be here for our help seekers when they call. So, you know, whether it's Christmas Day or Boxing Day, we don't close the centre. We're always operational, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So we really need you. We really need you to do your 4-hour shift. And again, I think in my experience, which is 9 years now here at the centre, is I think one of the biggest challenges for people is finding that 4 hours. You know, it starts off, but then life gets busy, life gets, you know, lots of things happen. So, you know, this is a chance for you to really reflect on, you know, am I able to make that commitment? Because that's what we need. You know, you have to do your group supervisions, and the group supervisions with other crisis supporters, and you get to reflect and talk about, you know, challenges you may have taking phone calls or being, you know, things that may have stuck with you a bit. So these are really supportive sessions for you, and it's very, very important for us to give you that opportunity. There is ongoing professional development that we do. There's 8 hours that we spread over the year. So we're constantly running courses and events where you can come in or Zoom in, so depending on what's going on in the world, and get that professional development. We have call coaches. All the supervisors are call coaches. They come in, they sit with you, and we just sort of reflect with you how you're going, how to improve, or if you're doing really well, how fantastic, So coaching is always an important part, and it also goes back to that, being able to take feedback and continue to grow here in the service. And then the other thing is part of our culture is it's all about mentoring, supporting new students, so we constantly need to keep building our service to be able to meet the demand that's placed on us. And so we're constantly running new training. So the expectation is that once you've gone through your own training and you're seeing how great value the mentors are, who are other experienced crisis supporters, that you too would become a mentor once you become accredited, right? And it's a really worthwhile service. It's a really great bonds are made and friendships. And for us here at Lifeline, it really enables us to get more training done and more students through that. So that's part of our culture here of giving back in all time and supporting people. So a lot there for you all. What's the application? Obviously language, English language, literacy. Small amount of computer skills is also good. Have some numeracy. You need to report and get your criminal record check and working with children check as well, if you have a valid one at the moment, and just send that through to us, or it takes a couple of weeks to get those done. You need a unique student identifier, which all training goes to nowadays. We can help you set that up if you don't have that. There is interviews, obviously, this is a people's business, so we will do that. And I think what we're saying here is that we'll do those by telephone at the moment, just because of all the COVID requirements. And you got to have the ability to be able to commence the training on those dates. We don't have that flexibility that if you miss some of the training to do makeup sessions and all that, it's just not possible for our trainers to do that. So what we really ask you to do is take a hard look at those dates. You go, yep, I can do that. Well, I don't think so. So not to worry, if these dates don't work for you, we run training throughout the whole year. It's a continuous process a training team do. So, if these set of dates may not be right for you, there may be some coming down further on in the year that are more suitable to what you need. Okay, so these are just some of the things: eligibility for training and student visa requirements. If you're we're not registered there for the overseas students. So it depends on your student visa. Maybe I'll do that. Again, if you have any questions on being an overseas student and our course, we can always answer those through our email process as well. So you guys read through that. Okay. So Lifeline Australia, and we're part of that obviously here in Lifeline in Perth, is a registered training organisation, right? So it is recognised as part of the vocational education and training. Trainers are all certified trainers and assessors as well. Hence you'll find out we love paperwork and filling forms in throughout the process. It's all part of that, but it's all very milestone delivered. You need to do 16 hours of observation and placement shifts. So you have to do 16 hours. So things like that. There's a lot of emphasis making sure that we meet all those requirements, and we'll work you through all of that as we go along. It is mapped to the following units: increase the safety of individuals at risk, recognise and respond to crisis situations, provide client-centred support to people in crisis. So you do get these quoted to you in the USI as well. So basically what we're saying here is that there's 3 stages that you're going to go through. There's the initial training, so maybe that 2-week fast track one, or the 10 sessions part-time. So that's the initial training with the training team here in Perth. And at the moment that's being delivered by Zoom. Most time though, pre-COVID, post-COVID is it going to be? It'll be done face-to-face. Then there's the student placements, and that's when you come into our centre here in Shenton Park and you work with the trainers, the supervisors and your mentors to do your placement. So one observation and typically 4 placements where you're on the phones supported by your mentor. So that's the placement sessions. And then after all of that, you then start your internship. And that's the extra 56 hours that you got to deliver. And that is over the next year. At the end of which, at the end of stage 3, you pass an assessment, you become an accredited crisis supporter. So really 3 steps over the next year. It's another fancy way of showing it, more details. Might be best if you can screenshot that one. You can read it all later. But initial training is about 43 hours. We're saying the e-learning component is about 24 hours of it. Student placement, it's typically 16. So here's 28, 20. That'd be with the observation shift in there. And then the internship over 9 months. So logged in hours are 56 hours there. Plus, and so there you go, well, why is that different? Well, what it is that when you looked at the logged in hours, it's 56. Logged in means on the phones. Then there's supervision hours, so there's 2, and each one of those is about 2 hours long. And then your professional development, right? So all up, you need to allow for that, right? So that's how it works over the 3 stages. And at the end of that, you'll finish your training. So as I said, we have classroom, but a lot of it's done on the phones. Yeah, so part of our RTO and general training is that we do require assessments. Now for a lot of us, may not have been assessed for some time in life, so that sometimes can be challenging, but I need to say that our trainers, our coaches are so supportive. And don't forget, we really want you to be successful here and be on the phones. So we're going to help you all the way through this. Right? It helps, to get through these things is to have a good level of self-awareness and a reflective practice. So we'll often ask you, how'd you go on that call? And it's an opportunity for you to sort of think about it. And that gives a lot of professional development, personal development as well. It's about helping you develop those micro skills, on the calls and how to wrap calls up and how to support people and do safety and all these things. So it's on that ongoing skills development throughout the year. And also bringing to life all that theory and knowledge that you've been taught in the training sessions with our trainers and being able to apply that on the phones, to our help seekers. In order, from our point of view, is providing a quality of service around Australia that is consistent, to the standards that we want. And so that's very, very important for us. There's assessments throughout all 3 stages. There's gateway assessments that you need to do. And again, you get given opportunities to repeat those. And again, coaching in between. So again, we're all here to make you be successful, right? No one fails or doesn't fail, right? We don't look at that from that point of view. I just want to say, we see you as competent, great, you're in. Not yet competent means you're still developing. You may need a little bit more time, a little bit more practice, a little bit more support to get to that point. So again, we don't look at fails. It's not what we do here. We give you more time to develop your skills, okay? So they're the assessments. What's our commitment to you as a student? Obviously, that great personal growth and development opportunities that we provide here. The resources, both people and the theories and the materials needed to do that. Our clinical supervision, plus our in-shift. One of the unique things here at Lifeline in Perth is that you have in-shift supervisors like myself actually in the phone room with you. So we're right there with you throughout the whole shifts, supporting you, helping you through calls, giving you chances to debrief you after the end of calls and at the end of your shift right? And we give you all of that support, right? It gives you an opportunity to improve your skills, you know. And, you know, to me, it's also that opportunity to be able to support people all around Australia. You know, people really need support, and people feel very unheard. And we give this amazing gift to people of just listening to them. And it's I can tell you, it's a great experience to be here and be part of that team and part of that Lifeline family that's here. What to expect from you? Well, we expect you to do the training, of course, get through your criminal record check. There you go. Volunteer hours, that means, yeah, so, you know, once you become accredited, it's that 4 hours. And as I was saying before, you know, the way I have witnessed it over the years is that that's probably the hardest thing for a lot of people, that they get really busy, work, study, family, it all gets lots of demand. So I just ask that you sit back and be realistic with yourself and go, you know, do I have the time to do this in the 4 hours really that is needed in the professional developments? You know? So that's your commitment to us. We do rostering via workforce management. We call it here in Perth Viva, which is our online system. So we try and make that as easy as possible. But don't forget, we have times of day that are busier than others, right? Makes sense? So, you know, afternoons, evenings are busy. Weekends are really busy. So we need people to be here. We want volunteers, our crisis supporters, to be here when our help seekers are calling us, right? And when they're in crisis. So again, it's about being able to be flexible and working within that. And meet the initial accreditation requirements is making sure we meet all those milestones there. I don't want to underestimate your commitment to Lifeline. It's a lot. And, you know, it's rewarding, but, you know, it's a kind of understanding that, you know, this is what we need to do to be able to provide a national service to the level and to the quality that we do here at Lifeline. Something we're all very proud of. So it is a large commitment, and we recognise that. You know, the cost of providing the training cost is significant, and we recognise the value of your commitment of our volunteers to our service, and therefore we do substantially subsidise the cost of the training, $750. But we do subsidise from what it actually costs us, and that's because we recognise your volunteers and you're contributing large amounts of your time and effort and skills to be here. So yeah, if you'd like to know any more information regarding that training, regarding cost, any issues that you have or questions, you can always email us. And we are operational for you guys. We're operational all over Christmas, this Christmas holiday period. We don't stop, our team's in. So if you have any questions, you can always email us and we'll do that. Lifeline Procedures. We have a range of policies and we have them all documented. We have a policy person. So under that, we have access and all that. So if you'd like to know more about any of those policies, equal opportunity, harassment, student refunds, workplace health and safety, you know, all these things that we take very seriously and put a lot of effort into, you can ask for copies of our policy, or I think we may even have it online, and you can read through all of those. Code of conduct. We are governed by a code of conduct, both as the employees and the volunteers as well. And it's really about ethical principles and standards that we maintain. You know, as I said before, you know, Lifeline's got this amazing brand recognition and value across Australia. And as part of that is coming from, obviously, our conduct and how we conduct ourselves within the organisations. We do have that well documented. As students, you will be taken through that, and we will we're clear about, you know, what is ethical conduct and what's not, and what's a breach of our conduct. So therefore, you know, as a student, you will be required to sign off on that, and obviously be given copies, and we'll review that typically during your training period, so that you're all well aware of it. Again, you know, once you're on the phones and in the phone room, your supervisor is always there. We're all trained on all these aspects, so we can always sit down and talk to you about that and help clarify any issues that you may have, or any questions that you have as well once you're in the phone room working with us. So nice to know that we have all these good things. Any questions? Well, you can't do any questions because this is a video. But if you do, you can drop us an email, which we've already sent you that, and you can drop that over into us, and we're happy to answer those as best we can. As I said, we are operational over this holiday period to do that, right? So don't forget, we have 2 sets of training available to you, the fast-track full-time service coming up, key dates there to remember, and then the part-time typical 10-week training period as well that we do a little bit later on, okay? I hope this has been an informative session for you, and I look forward to seeing you all when you're coming into training, and for those who come through into our phone rooms and being part of the Lifeline family. So thank you very much today for joining me, and I hope this has been an informative session for you. Thank you very much.